Alright, people, listen up. I have a public service announcement about some underrated gems that are absolute fire. And if you don't take my word for it and check these fragrances out, it's over.
Daddy, chill.
Alright, hey guys, welcome to the video. If you're new here, my name is Curtis. Welcome. So yeah, today I thought I'd show you some like criminally underrated fragrances that I have in my collection. These fragrances are so good. I don't understand why other people don't talk about them. So yeah, if you're curious to see the 5 underrated gems that I have in my collection, then let's go. First up on the list, from the house of Primera Perfumes Kuwait, we have Royal Vetiver. Man, so this one has to be one of the best vetiver scents in my collection. This really kind of goes head to head with Sultan Vetiver from Nishane for me. This has a bit of freshness. It's definitely very green and earthy, but it has a bit of freshness here. And there's also a slight smokiness in here. That smokiness really helps to give it a bit of depth and character. And yeah, I absolutely love this one. You must go easy on the trigger with this one. This one is a room filler. It is extremely strong. It's almost too strong. It is very, very loud. So, you need to be careful where you wear this one. If you're in an office setting, maybe half a spray or maybe one spray, but don't go more than one because this will fill the room. It pushes out heavily and it lasts the entire day. And it will probably last until the following day. Projection and longevity are very, very good with this one. But I absolutely love the smell. I'm a vetiver lover, so of course, but the vetiver in here, this is quality work. I don't understand why other people haven't talked about this one. It's a great one. This is a newer house, so I haven't experienced too many other fragrances from this house, but I definitely would like to in the future. They do great work. This is the prime example of that. And yeah, this is definitely one to check out from the brand. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Royal Vetiver by Primera Perfumes Kuwait. Next up, from the house of Maison Violet, we have Un Air d'Apogée. So this has to be one of the most gorgeous tobacco scents and definitely one of the best in my collection for sure. Basically, this is kind of like a honeyed tobacco fragrance, but there's not any honey listed in the notes here, but you do get a solid dose of mimosa. And the way mimosa kind of comes off as a slightly powdery, but it kind of has honey-like qualities. So that combined with the tobacco in here is kind of giving it kind of a slightly sweet honey tobacco feel that is absolutely heavenly. The sillage on this has to be one of the best smells ever. Definitely, the sillage is gorgeous and it's definitely one of the best smells in my collection for sure. So basically this one opens up with a very strong, delicious honey note. And then later on you start to get that tobacco and hay note that start to push forward, and that hay note gives it a bit of earthiness. And then when you move into the dry down with this one, you get a very subtle leather tone that starts to push forward. However, it does hang in the background for the most part. It's definitely not at the forefront of this fragrance. Man, this one is a stunner. And if you haven't checked out anything from the house of Maison Violet, you definitely should. Natalie Lorsan has been the perfumer for this house, and she's perfumed, I think, all of their fragrances, if I'm not mistaken, but this is my favorite one for sure. Like I said, one of the best smells ever. It's definitely one to try if you haven't, especially if you like tobacco fragrances. This is one of the best. So yeah, if you can, get yourself a sample of Un Air d'Apogée by Maison Violet. And next up, from the house of Maxime Perfumes, we have Café Mystique. So this one has to be one of the most unique and intriguing fragrances that I have in my collection. This fragrance is so well blended that it is extremely difficult to pick out the notes that were used. That's how good the perfumer did with blending the notes here. But yeah, this is a newer house, so If you haven't checked out anything by Maxime Perfumes, you definitely should. They kicked off earlier this year in 2024, and they've released 3 fragrances. This is the only one that I've tried from the house, but man, this fragrance makes me want to try the other 2 fragrances that they offer. It's that good. This one is just very deep, rich, warm, resinous, opulent, and slightly sweet. It's the ultimate olfactive experience if that's what you're looking for. I don't know, it's something about this fragrance when I wear it that almost kind of has like a cozy like vibe, and it has a sense of tranquility about it. Like, it just makes me feel calm and relaxed. However, there's something that's very mysterious and slightly dark about this fragrance that you could totally wear this one to like a special event dressed up. There's something very, very special about this one. And don't be fooled by the name Cafe Mystique. You might be thinking this is kind of like a sweet latte-like fragrance. It's definitely not. It does have a blast of a couple different kinds of coffee in here, but some oud as well and a bunch of other notes. It is a chock full of notes, but it definitely doesn't push in a gourmand direction at all. This is a stunning fragrance and one to check out for sure. And for me in my fragrance journey now, I'm looking for fragrances that are transportive. They can take me on a journey somewhere. This one does exactly that. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Cafe Mystique by Maxime Perfumes. Next up, from the house of Laboratorio Olfativo, we have Neurotic. So this one is a very smoky, ambery leather fragrance that is quite dark and mysterious, a bit warm, and definitely leans masculine, but is extremely sexy. This one is quite a beast on performance. I get over 10 hours of longevity with this one, with a very, very strong projection. When I first smelled this one kind of reminded me of the Blue Beast Interlude Man by Amouroud. It's not the same fragrance by any means, but it, sometimes when you smell fragrance, you get kind of initial reaction, initial thought. That was my first thought when I smelled this one. But again, they're definitely not the same fragrance by any means. This one, however, was perfumed by one of my favorite perfumers, Cecile Zarokian. She's done such a great job with this one. This is such a unique smelling fragrance, and I absolutely love it. It definitely has a dark and mysterious vibe about it, so I like to wear this one with a leather jacket, kind of dressed up, but it's an evening fragrance for me. And it's definitely a fragrance to wear more so in the fall and winter time, in the evenings. But yeah, this is a stunner from beginning to end and one of my favorites from the brand. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Neurotic by Laboratorio Olfativo. And finally, from the house of amouroud, we have Silver Birch. So basically what you get here is some woody, earthy freshness, and you have a plump, juicy fig in the very beginning of this fragrance that gives it like a fruitiness, but basically this fragrance remains quite woody. But you also have a little bit of vetiver in the base here, as well as some suede leather, but neither the vetiver or suede leather are overbearing. They're definitely subtly tucked into the background here to just help give this fragrance a bit more character and depth. But man, this is such a stunning fragrance. That fig note in here, man, it's a head turner. But basically this fragrance is all about that juicy fig note and that orange blossom working together just absolutely beautifully. If the vetiver and the suede leather were more forward in this fragrance, I would say that you probably couldn't wear this in the summertime because those notes might come off as a bit too cloying, possibly. But since those notes are tucked in the background, man, I feel like you can really pull this one off in the spring, summer, winter, and fall. But yeah, this is definitely a stunner from the house of amouroud. Now, this is the only fragrance I have from that brand, but I am definitely intrigued and want to try more. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Silver Birch by amouroud. All right, guys, so that's all I have for you for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content, and let me know down in the comments section, what fragrances do you have in your collection that you feel are underrated and you don't hear a lot of people talking about? I'd love to hear about them. Well, I hope you guys are staying healthy and well, and I'll see you in the next video.